Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Supersonic Meals. So today's secret ingredient is pork ribs. So this video is for a friend. He has a special request. He wanted me to do something about ribs and potatoes. So here's what you have. Pork ribs, pack of 4 for $4.38. We got some red potatoes. And then we're going to use chili garlic sauce on the ribs. And then we got some wild rice, brown rice. And then I'm going to mix in some of these red beans, small red beans to it. So now on the ribs, let's marinate them, preferably overnight. But in my case, I'll marinate them around 3:40, and I'm going to come back from the gym about 8 p.m. So marinate them for like at least 4 or 5 hours, preferably overnight. So we'll see how it turns out. Oh, and the reason why I'm soaking these red beans is to make it softer prior to put them in the rice cooker. Alright, so I washed the ribs and I covered both sides with about 2 tablespoons of the chili garlic sauce. So now I'm going to put some of this chopped up garlic and ginger combo. Now the sauce already have garlic, I just like it more garlicky flavor. I love using that combination. Alright, put some of that all over that. Now put some sesame oil. Some soy sauce for additional flavoring. You can add more salt if you want, but I think I'll just leave it like it is. And cover it with saran wrap. So make sure all the flavor and aroma gets trapped in there while it soaks this flavoring. So marinate that for about 4 hours, preferably overnight, but I don't have the time. Alright, so I covered my red potatoes with aluminum foil, and I'm gonna bake them, broil them along with the ribs. So we'll come back to it when the time comes. Hey, so I'm back from the gym. This has been marinating for 4.5 hours. So, as you can see, it looks flavorful. So I put it in a pan with aluminum foil. Now I'm going to wrap it up. You can add more oil and soy sauce and garlic and ginger if you want. So I'm going to wrap this up. And I'm going to put additional foil to cover it all. Alright, so now with the beans, I've decided that I might have to boil them, because just having in the rice cooker for a half hour, it might not be long enough to cook it thoroughly. So it might be a little bit hard. So now I opted to boil them for about 20 minutes so they become softer. And then I'm going to add them to my brown rice. Alright? So now, before I put these potatoes and the ribs in the convection oven to broil, let's check out this beer I have here. Kilkenny beer, imported. Glacier fresh beer. It's one of those cheap beers. It's like $12 for 12 bottles. It's actually one of the better, cheaper beer. Kind of tastes like Rolling Rock if I remember right. So as you can see, it's a light-ish beer. Yeah, it just tastes like Budweiser or Rolling Rock. Anyway, it's a good cheap beer. Alright, so now I'm going to put it in the oven. Alright, so I've covered the ribs, and I put the red potatoes on the pan, add some water just for some moisture while it broils. So now I'm going to put it in my convection oven. Alright, put it on broil. Default is 450. Yeah, I'm going to cook it for about 40 minutes. Come on. Alright, turn off the light. Just let it cook. And now we're going to pay attention to the beans. So that the beans are boiling, so we're going to pay attention to that while it boils for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then add them to the brown rice and then start it up. Cook it on the rice cooker with the brown rice cooking setting. Alright, so the beans have been boiling for about 20 minutes. As you can see, it's become softer. So now what I'm going to do is drain the water and then add it to the rice. So on the rice, now keep in mind, brown rice requires more water than steamed white rice because it just takes more for it to cook and become softer. Alright, so typically if you have, like, for example, 1 cup of white rice, you will put 2 cups of water. But for the brown rice, you will add additional ½ cup. So here, as you can see, I have more water than it is for white rice. Alright, so this is 1 cup of brown rice. Now we're going to add the beans. Alright, so I've drained the water on the red beans. Now I'm going to mix it in with my rice. Alright. Add some sesame oil. A couple drips of that. Add some salt for flavoring. Alright, now put it in the rice cooker. Now in my rice cooker, there's a setting for brown rice. Alright, so if you're cooking it in a regular pot, you might have to Google for how long to cook it. I don't know off the top of my head. So it was simple. Alright, so this is cooking. Let's take a quick peek at the ribs. So we still have 21 minutes left. I don't smell hardly anything, so we'll come back to that. Alright, so the ribs and the potatoes are done, as you can hear from the beep of my Oyster convection oven. Alright, we'll turn this off, stop it. Let me see how it turned out. Oh yeah, the ribs are done. Let's poke into the potatoes. Make sure they are done. Yeah. Actually, they seem a little bit hard. So, I mean, and the ribs could probably use a little bit long cooking. Alright, no problem. We'll broil it for additional 10 minutes. No, let's make it 15. Since I'm still waiting for my rice. So I apologize for that. That's a rookie mistake. Rice still cooking. Alright. The ribs are done, hopefully. Let's see how it looks. Oh yeah. Texture is right on broiled. potatoes. Oh yeah, that's definitely perfect. Alright, the rice is still cooking. I don't know what's taking so long, but we'll get to it when it's done. Alright, so the dish is finally plated. I have a big gripe. The rice, I can't believe it took over 1.5 hours to cook. I never expected it to take so long. I thought it would be like 45 minutes. Typically I don't like preparing dinners that take so long, but hey, I'm doing it for you guys. So here's what I have. How does it look? So on the potatoes, I cut into wedges and I sprinkle some sesame on there and sprinkle a light salt. So the rice, which has been seasoned with sesame oil, a little bit of salt, you can see the brown rice mixed in with the red beans. Alright, so the ribs has been broiled for 55 minutes in the convection oven. It's flavored with chili garlic sauce. Alright, so let's dig into it and see how it tastes. Let me try the potatoes first. See the sesame and the butter on there? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I added butter too. Wow, it goes so well together. I would rate that 84%. Let's see the rice. This took forever to cook. It better be good. Let me get a piece of the bean, make sure it's soft enough. You can use a little bit more salt. Tastes kind of bland. Probably have to rate that a 78. Alright, let me put down my camera and cut into the ribs to show you guys how tender and juicy it is. Alright, as you can see, it's very juicy, moist. Let me take a bite of it. Wow, I really love the flavor of the chili garlic sauce. For some people it might need a little bit more salt, but for me it's right on. So I typically like my ribs kind of moist. So I know some people like it more textured. So you might want to broil that for additional 15 minutes. So there you have it. Easy to make, nutritious. Overall, I would have to rate this dish a 85%. So don't forget, the shout out video was for Aaron, lives in West Seattle. So guys, if you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel, J Rule, and hit me up in the comments section if you want any type of food or meat or dish that you want me to prepare. Until next time, peace.